Hi, welcome to Ziga Review. Are you in the market for a brand new AV receiver because you got a brand new TV that supports HDMI 2.1 in anticipation to your brand new next gen console, be it the Xbox Series X or S or the PS5? I have some bad news for you. Do not buy that brand new, shiny, expensive AV receiver. So, as 2020 has been a, let's say, horrible year, full of challenges and problems, um, things is gonna keep getting worse. And I am aware that there are worse things happening in the world than what I'm about to talk about, but we are within the confines of this channel that focuses on tech, stuff, and games. So here we go. The brand new AV receivers that support HDMI 2.1 that are made to support brand new 4K TVs that support HDMI 2.1 in order to support the brand new next gen consoles that are coming to the market in the next few weeks have a bug that do not let them show the image coming from the consoles. The testing was done with the Xbox Series X that has been out for people to test out and to do reviews with, and the NVIDIA cards that are also out in the market. So when using these devices in combination with the AV receiver to try to pass a 4K 120 hertz signal to the TV or monitor that was being used to test, the only thing that people could get was a black screen. This a report on a German website is Heise Online or Heise Online is Heisse Online. I'm not sure if I'm saying it correctly because I do not speak German. It seems that no matter what they tried, the image wouldn't come up on the TV or monitor that they were using. The issue has been discovered on the newest AV receivers by Marantz, Denon, and Yamaha. Now, these receivers were made specifically to support the upcoming consoles that have all these new features that haven't been available before. Obviously, this new technology is going to have its issues. New technology usually will not usually, I will say always has some sort of issue. But this issue is rendering these AV receivers useless for what you're buying them for, pretty much. So the problem is not just a firmware problem or a software problem, it's an actual hardware problem. So it looks like there's a bug on the HDMI chips that are made by Panasonic Solutions. Panasonic Solutions, this is going to be a little hard, so I'm going to quickly explain this. Panasonic Solutions was bought by Novoton Technologies, but not all of Panasonic because Panasonic still exists as its own sole company that makes TVs and stuff in Europe. Novoton Technologies bought Panasonic Solutions chip making arm of the company and they kept the name. So it kind of sucks for Panasonic that their name is kind of being thrown around as, the ones who screwed up have created this issue, when technically it's Novoton Technology who has the issue. But, that's what happens when you let another company keep your name and problems happen and your name is just screwed. It looks like the bug affects the way the HDMI 2.1's fixed rate link feature works within these receivers and within this chip. Based on preliminary investigation and tests, a firmware update might not fix the problem. It might be a bigger issue that might technically render this brand new future-proof AV receivers useless for what they're being bought for. It looks like not only Marantz, Denon, and Yamaha use these chips, it looks like Onkyo Sony and Pioneer also have these chips in their upcoming AV receivers. So it looks like this is going to be a market-wide issue, which is why I'm saying if you were in the market looking to buy an AV receiver and you weren't aware of this issue, to not buy the receivers, because you're going to be spending a lot of money on a device that might not end up doing what you wanted to do. Of course, this affects gaming. If you don't play any video games, then go ahead and buy it. It's not going to do anything, it's not going to cause any problems for you. But if you do gaming, then this is going to be a huge issue for you. Novoton Technology / Panasonic Solutions has put out a statement. It is quite lengthy. I'm going to read it for you, so be patient. Some new gaming source devices that support 4K 120Hz output may not work fully with Denon or Marantz AK AVRs. You may discover this incompatibility issue due to a HDMI chipset mismatch between the devices. When the affected system is connected to the AVR via AK HDMI input and set to output at 4K 120Hz, and the AVR's 4K signal format option is set to AK Enhance, you may not see that system's source video on their display, and may not hear the system source audio processed through the AVR. This problem is only present when a display that supports 4K 120Hz is used. I like that they tell you that the problem only happens when you're using a 4K 120Hz display, but technically that is every single next-gen display that is going to be used with these next-gen consoles. So it is kind of an issue for all TVs, not just specific TVs. Let's continue. We are currently investigating the issue further and will offer a permanent solution at a later date. Meanwhile, we would like to provide a couple of workarounds to prevent the issue in its current state. You can connect the system to the display directly via HDMI and use the display's ARC functionality to feed the native audio back to the AVR using the connected HDMI cable between the AVR and display. This will allow users to decode the native audio format sent from the source. With this method, the display's CEC ARC option must be enabled, as well as the AVR's HDMI control or the AVR's ARC option. In the AVR, this option is located within the GUI under Video HDMI setup. Another workaround is to leave or change a source's video output to 4K 60Hz instead of 4K 120Hz until a permanent solution is available. This will ensure reliable communication between the source, the AVR, and the display. The source default is set to output at 4K 60Hz, so if no change was initiated out of the box, then nothing further needs to be done. We apologize for this inconvenience, and we are currently working tirelessly to release a permanent solution so you can enjoy the 4K 120Hz experience using the latest sources with your AVR. We will have an update soon regarding the timeline of a permanent solution. We appreciate your patience. So to me, this is a huge problem. These AVRs, these AV receivers are super expensive. And so my recommendation right now is to stay away from them until there's a solution, until they come out and say, this is what we're going to do, this is how we're going to fix it. Or maybe down the line where newer receivers are made that do not have this chip. Go ahead and let me know in the comment section if you think that you are going to be affected by this or you are being affected by this. That's it for me. Go ahead and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. Hit that bell so you can be alerted every time there are new videos. And thank you very much for watching.